nice morning, mid-morning salutation to everyone. Just chiming in to say hi. It's 10:25 Pacific Daylight Time here in Los Angeles, which this is one of the first days we've had this week that has been nice and sunny. The temperature is not so warm, actually. I mean, for Los Angeles speed, we're looking about 67 degrees here, but shouldn't be that much more than that. But yeah, just I'm in the car doing the things, getting the homework done. It's the 3rd of May, so that means I have 12 days left of this spring semester at Cal State Long Beach, and still have a lot to do. Trying to just balance that and my independent work and just getting through the day. So just decided to throw myself on here today. Heading to Paramount right now to get the car re-inspected for Lyft. So for a lot of you guys who know that I drive Uber, and it's now become more of a frequent thing now, in addition to all of the lacrosse taping and things like that. But I just decided that it's been a long time since I've driven for Lyft, and just to offer more opportunities to drive, I've decided, you know what, let me just get back on the platform. Let's just get back onto Lyft. So I said, yeah, sure, why not? See where this goes, and just kind of go from there. Now, it would be kind of funny though. I can't do like Facebook Lives, obviously, when I'm driving passengers around, but if I'm kind of just stuck in my thoughts, and I figure I could just throw something online for fun, because this is something that I used to do in the confines of a weird office with the door closed and things. And since my car is now my mobile office again, might as well just go with it and see what comes to mind. So yeah, 10:27 in the morning. I think probably most people are at work right now, probably not checking social media. I mean, whenever I want to check social media, it seems to be just free enterprise at this point, because, well, like I really have any other limitations than, I can't be staring at a screen the whole time, but I can just jabber away. So yeah, this week has been a bit zany in that sense. It's just trying to finish up with classes and plan out how to finish final projects and stuff like that. So just a lot going on, and in many ways, doing this kind of independent work now has kind of been a blessing in disguise. I will say that, yeah, sure, in terms of like income, things are a little tight, but at the same time, though, the freedom that you cannot pay for with money, that money cannot buy, is been very helpful in me trying to finish my pursuits and get what needs to be done without having to pull my hair out completely. Maybe just a couple strands here and there, but at least I'm not pulling out half my scalp, which is good. So in a way, it's okay. And that's the reason why I can survive in a situation like this. So I'm very grateful for the people who have been helping me so far, and at least trying to help me get through a lot of these things. And I know I say that a lot, but I can't do this alone. Sometimes I feel like I'm alone, but that's really a feeling just because of the mobile office is a lonely one. But there are a lot of people behind the scenes who, when they can and they can offer a little bit of support, they do, and I'm very grateful for those people. So on another topic, though, I have to say that with the rats, everybody's fine. I work a lot of hours, but at least, when I get home, I can play with them when I can. But I will say that Lou, one of my big boys, one of my big brown boys, he had an abscess for a few weeks, and right on his back, and it sucks because it was an injury that he sustained when one of my new boys, Sly, decided to give him a little bit of a bite in the back, but because it wasn't an open wound, it got infected on the inside and became an abscess. So within the last couple days, the abscess finally ruptured, and this abscess has been on his back for several weeks, and it was pretty gross. And I had to get some help in terms of flushing out the abscess so that it would, clean properly. I mean, he got Lou was able to groom most of it off, but man, there was some goopy shit in there, and I mean, pardon my graphic description of all of this, but I hope that you never have an issue with abscesses rupturing. I mean, granted that this happens to animals a lot, especially if they sustain injuries that don't involve, puncturing of the skin. So, like, you have an infection underneath, so everything has to heal from the inside out. So, yeah, that was kind of disgusting. But spend some time, with Gabby helping me get that flushed out. And yeah, if you're friends with Gabby, she does mention it in her Facebook feed. But yeah, it involved a lot of water, betadine, and a sink. And Lou was a trooper through the whole thing. He didn't bite, he didn't squeak too much. But yeah, it was kind of disgusting to get all that gunk out. But rat maintenance is rat maintenance. And one thing that I've learned over the last year or so of having to send rats to the vet and stuff like that is I'm realizing that there are many things that you can do when you're taking care of rats that don't require a vet visit and that can be taken care of on your own. Now, the reason why I am really moving toward, just taking care of rats on my own is that I will say, and, rats are pretty inexpensive to take care of, but I love exotic vets. I appreciate what they do, but man, I'll tell you, office visits are a killer. I think the last time that I mentioned with Patch having issues with his skin to the point that he was just losing all his fur, and it was initially diagnosed as having these really, really bad skin mites that were growing underneath his skin. The first visit to, and I'm not even sugarcoating anything here, but the first visit to the vet when he was first diagnosed cost me, including the injection, about $120 to administer. That was a bit much. And what had happened was that he had to go in for a subsequent shot of ivermectin, which is a very commonly used anti-mite, parasite, a medicine basically, and he had to go in for a booster shot, and that was an additional like $20 for the booster shot. So then I'd have to thank Kristen at the Ventura County Rat Rescue, who I've done some collabo with and some volunteer stuff with. And I have to thank her for her advice on this one. So if you're watching, Kristen, thank you. But she was like, I was talking to her about what had happened to Patch, and she goes, dude, you don't need to get that injection. If you administer the bovine version of it as a single drop behind the shoulder blades, like you would with Revolution or those kind of flea meds that you would put on the back of a cat or a dog, it's the same thing. And one big bottle, which you'll never get through unless you have like a cajillion rats, is going to cost you $25 on Amazon. And then you would just use a normal dropper like you would with like an insulin syringe, like that's that size, and it was a single drop. And I'm going, are you kidding me? So that happens, goes down. Of course, Gabby helps me again with this because she's good at this shit. I don't know, but so she helps me administer this medication. We do 2 rounds of the ivermectin on Patch. The second time that the mites came back, because as soon as the mites started coming back, he was scratching up, losing his fur. I'm like, oh hell no, I'm not dropping another $120 on taking him to the vet. The first round cleared it up. The second round completely just, as insurance cleared it up, and now Patch is Patch again, and there's no issues. So I'm thinking in my head, okay, I mean, it's good to have the knowledge now, but man, I'll tell you, the growing pains in terms of, rat ownership. I mean, granted, as a kid, most of my rats just went peacefully, and there were no issues, and it's not like, anybody else in my family wanted to do anything with them. I was the one who took care of my rats. But it's amazing how much knowledge goes a long way, and also with rats being as easy as they are to take care of, there are so many resources and so many medications that are available that are technically labeled for other species of animals, but are used on rats anyway. So one of them is amoxicillin, which is commonly used as an antibiotic for young kids, but the fish version can actually be used. And there are guidelines on how to do this, but I'm just kind of mentioning this. But the fish version of amoxicillin can be used on rats as an antibiotic. In addition, you have things like and I keep forgetting, it's the generic version of Baytril, which is another antibiotic that is used for medication for upper respiratory infection. There's a bird version of that, and that can be used on rats as well. Yeah, I mean, I'm not even kidding. It's like, are you kidding me that, to treat a rat I can use? And there's a lot of other medications that are specifically labeled for other species that actually can be used for rats. Go figure, right? I mean, rats are pretty hardy creatures, and usually if something's wrong with them, they'll bounce back pretty quick if you get find it early enough. But I tell you, it was a very expensive year last year dealing with my rats, and that's not going to happen again. Also, in regards to upper respiratory infections, I'm proud to say that having discovered the mold in my room and the rats not being inside of my room for the last couple months or so, there is no sign of any sort of respiratory infections or any coughing or sneezing, and everyone's fine. So, it's been good. Everyone's just kind of chilling and doing their thing, and I'm just glad that they're around, and my foster boys are all doing great, and they're just being themselves. And Sly likes to fall out of the cage onto the floor, and he needs to really work on that. I have to do one of the Facebook Lives with my rats, with me, so that I can identify which ones I'm talking about. Because if I had to compare my old man Patch, who's my oldest boy, he's about 2.5 now, and Sly is a younger version of Patch, but nowhere as graceful. And that's probably the best way I can describe him. He's also like 1.5 times bigger than he is, because he's just a big boy, and that's just what it is. And then, of course, my two brown guys, Lou and Flanders, which they're just being themselves and eating carrots all day. But it is pretty funny how that all works out. So anyway, I digress about my rats. I'm currently on the 91 right now on my way to Paramount for a vehicle inspection. I know I'm going to pass vehicle inspection because I already passed it with Uber 2.5 weeks ago when I returned to driving. So this is just more of a formality, but I have to update all of my my stuff so that I can drive again. And I gotta probably, after this, I probably have to swing up toward downtown LA, get my my Lyft stickers, and just get that all squared away, because all that fun stuff. So yeah, that's what's up. Thankfully, one of the homework assignments I was supposed to do this morning, where I had to go to a facility and take care of, basically take some notes on a facility, I was able to take care of in less than 15 minutes, and it was in Torrance, and I'm going, oh, well, that made it easy. I don't have to worry about that anymore. Cool. So that was a big plus. I'm on a roll today. So yes, if anyone's listening, which, I don't know who is right now at 10:38 in the morning on a Thursday, but if you are in the Studio City area around, I would say maybe between 1 and 3 p.m., 1 and 3:30 p.m., maybe 1 and 4 p.m., depending. I'm going to be in that area around lunchtime on. I'm probably going to be camping at the Panera right off of, what's it called? I think it's really close to Coldwater Canyon Boulevard. It's right off, I think Ventura Boulevard, or I forget where it is, but it's in Studio City. It's the one that's near Chipotle. I'm going to be over there doing homework. I have a lacrosse game that I am filming at Harvard Westlake today at 4:30 p.m. And knowing that I will be returning to Studio City during the summer for performing arts camp, traffic is always crap up there, and I would rather be super early than mega late. So at this point, especially when you're doing videography, I'm not going to take any chances, especially when my income kind of depends on it. So if you are in Studio City sometime in the afternoon and you want to chill and say hi, I am going to be very close to you, probably sitting at a table at a Panera that I know all too well, that I have gone to in the summers for my bagels and whenever I needed them. But office is mobile. I go anywhere. I have everything, and it's okay. I think someday I'm going to get to a point where I can enjoy the comforts of home, a home office, and not have to, you know, end up all over the place. But, you know, until then, which it is where we are, you know, I've had to adapt to life on the road here. And one day this will pay off. I know it. You know, these are the things that I don't say that it's like a silent struggle or anything like that, but I will say that it definitely is an adventure that I don't talk about often until I'm on here, you know, on the road, just kind of doing what I have to do. And maybe someday I should write a book about all this, you know, all what I've had to do just to get to where I am now, you know, and it's okay, you know, it's all gonna be okay. I like to say that a lot. I mean, I know it's true, and that, you know, in the end, everything is going to be okay, but there are just days when you wake up and you go, you know, I just gotta pull the bootstraps up and do the thing, because that's really all that you can do, you know. I mean, I'm glad to not have additional variables in my life that may make things slightly more difficult than they already are, but, you know, maybe with like Facebook Live, you know, I come here to vent sometimes. Sometimes you just kind of figure out what to do. You know, we're not all you know, in our ideal places at the moment, but you know, when you have your resources and you have your friends who are there to support when they can, you know, it gives you a little bit more strength to pull your bootstraps up and just do your thing, and that's the best that you can do. So, but yeah, that's my gig today. My gig is searching for more gigs until I can get some breathing room with the start of summer camp. Other things that are going on is I just found out that my camera, my long-standing camera, is going to have to go back to Canon for warranty repair. But fortunately, I have fail-safes in place because the possible absence of my camera from anywhere from a week to 6 weeks is highly likely, and I do have a backup. So I've been very thankful that that's available at my disposal. So I will be having to use a spare alternative camera with the same capabilities and everything, because I helped select it. So, you know, I have to be helpful like that. So yeah, warranties, FYI, and I'll just give this as a point of advice for anyone who uses any sort of audiovisual equipment. If you are doing this as part of your work, as part of your profession, and you know you're going to be using this stuff, please, 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 for the love of Pete, invest in the extended warranty. Okay, I bought my camera back in 2014, and it's a professional grade Canon XA20. You look that one up. It's not made anymore. It's now been replaced. I think the current version is the XA35, but it is probably one of the best cameras I've ever used. But mind you, continuously using this camera for at least once a week, if not twice a week, for the last nearly 4.5 years. It's getting to the point where there are parts that are needing to be replaced. I am at year 4 of 5 for this extended warranty that I purchased, which is great. And now, because of usage, problems are starting to come up on the camera, and I have to send it back in for warranty repair. That warranty addition was an additional $200 tacked on to the cost of my camera. Worth it, okay? Because there's no way in hell right now that I can drop another $2,500 on a new camera. And since I have an extra camera available that, you know, is not going to cost me anything to use, I'm okay. But seriously, like, you're doing any camera work, I mean, seriously, just drop the extra $200 or whatever they charge you for that. Make sure the warranty's legit. My camera will be going back to Canon, so, but it's a warranty, it's protected, and I got my stuff at Sammy's, which highly recommend those guys. Sammy's has treated me very well. It's a good company. They have a lot of good. They try to work with you in terms of deals on cameras and stuff like that. If you ever go to the Culver City location and you're doing video work, you know, hit up Jimmy. He's a fellow Trojan. It's all good. And he'll definitely like help you out. You know, I think the last time I had to buy another battery for my camera, he tax exempted it. He took the tax off. I'm like, okay, he was cool. Especially when that was like a $130 camera battery. I'm going, okay, you know what, you bomb. I like this. So yeah, I hit him up back on Tuesday and I'm like, hey Jimmy, can you check out my warranty status? And so he prints it out. And he's all like, yeah, you gotta, you are under warranty, but you know, this is what you have to do to prepare for warranty, and then you can send it back to us. So I'm like, okay, cool. So yeah, he helped me out there. That was cool. So that's just my little piece of advice. If you're doing any, you know, independent work with your stuff, protect your equipment, because your equipment is your life. As an independent contractor, your equipment is your life. Your equipment is your career. You know, don't mess with it. Hey Christy, if you're watching, I'm going to be in Studio City this afternoon, so I'm just saying hi. Let me know if you want to do lunch or something, I guess. I don't know. It's just, so yeah, that's my deal. You know, I've made it to Paramount. I'm just heading to the place where I'm getting my car inspected for reinstatement into a lift, and you know, all that fun jazz. And so I'm just going on a little bit of a thing about why it's important to protect your stuff, or as the old adage is, don't be a fool, protect your tool. I know that it doesn't refer to cameras, but I tried. You know. Aside from that, not too much else going on. Just moseying my way up the Los Angeles landscape here and hoping for the best. And yeah. But anyway, with that being said, I am going to click off of here as I get to my destination. All you guys be good, be kind, rewind. If you have any comments or anything like that, you know. Oh, and before I forget, I'd like to thank everyone who just sent in their kudos on Sunday for my induction into Phi Kappa Phi Honor Society. I very much appreciated the support from that, and that was a really cool honor that I was at least able to share with all of you guys online. You know, all my friends out there, extended family, WoW people, all you guys. You know, it was very cool to get, and to consider that only 400 of us this academic year at Cal State Long Beach received it. I'm just like, you know what, that was really, really cool. So I'm glad to be part of that honor society, and you know, I'll definitely a nice feather in my cap as I continue toward finishing this master's degree. So I just wanted to shout out to that, especially with just all of the positive vibes that I was getting from that. It was a huge boost to my week, you know, and especially with everything that's been going on, and having to adapt to my changes here, job-wise and things. It's just been nice to know that really, in the end of things, I am meant to go where I have to go, and you know, I can't let the decisions of other people determine how I feel about myself. So that's been a huge boost, and thank you for all of the well wishes in regards to that. So anyway, I'm almost there. I will talk to you all later. Just like I said, you stay out of trouble. I will try to do the same, because speeding tickets are very, very expensive. I'm still trying to fight one that I received on February 8th when I was on PAM for, you know, because it was a very bored CHP guy right behind me, which was dumb. So anyway, yeah, I will check y'all later, and you know, keep doing the thing, fight the good fight, and you know, get all the points. I'll talk to you later.